Journal entry, 8th of the month of April, in the year of our Lord, 1101. My father has been patient, much too patient for my liking, with the unholy dealings of Count Emeric of Auvergne. Dark words, the maids told me, were spoken of his deeds, words of rituals, sacrifice, and blood. How he could tolerate such a man is beyond me. Until finally the decree was received from Rome that the Count had been found guilty of collusion with Satan, and of being secretly in league with unholy forces, and as an enemy of Christianity was to be excommunicated. My father, still showing leniency, demanded his title, yet the villain rose up, squealing about injustice and despotism, and, I'm sure with the help of the evil he's in league with, gathered his troops. We had just finished besieging the castle at Carlat, when a messenger rode to camp, informing us that the Count's army had arrived before the walls of Toulouse. They had been vexingly avoiding us these past months, but it looked like they'd finally give battle. When they had word of our imminent arrival, they attempted to flee, but our cavalry caught up to them, and they were forced to stand or be cut down. I was with the guard of my father's knights, and it was to be my chance to prove myself. Radomir, the giant, inspired abject terror, and few would face him, but a man, wild eyes, charged me spear in hand. I deflected it with ease and closed the distance. A swift cut across staggered him, and I drove my blade into his chest on the upswing, as I had practiced so many times. No sparring could have prepared me for a real battle, my father would always say, and oh, how right he was. Blood gurgled from the man's mouth, and I saw the light fade in his eyes before he slammed off my sword to the ground. Two more approached, and I cut them down with ease, but my mind was forever caught on the image of the dying man. This is what it is to take a life. It is my duty as a knight to defeat those who want us harm, yet I shall have to pray to the Lord for forgiveness, as my father has done countless times, and alas, I feel the image shall haunt my nights for a while still. The Emperor is busy with his troops in the conquest of Iberia, and as such, there might be a chance for us to take the remaining titles of the Duchy of Toulouse. We've got the county of Quercy, which belongs both to us culturally and by law. However, the people currently suffer under the yoke, or used to suffer under the yoke of Count Isarad, who is held prisoner by Duke Eudes II of Aquitaine, who, as it wills the chance, is having Ogier at his court, and that is obviously potentially a bit of a problem, because we do not necessarily want to get ourselves in direct trouble. Now, Count Isarad has declared a war of dethronement against the Duke of Aquitaine, and the previous Duke, who has died, and then he was defeated by the Duke's son in battle. Now, if we are going to take Quercy, are we going to declare war on Count Isarad? Not directly, because it's all part of Francia. So we will be declaring against the Emperor himself. And the problem is our troops are still recovering from the recent campaign. So, of course, the longer we wait, anachronistic aircraft flying over low. The longer we wait, the further the Emperor is going to get in his wars of conquest. So he is fighting. I think, multiple smaller holders, two counts, a duke, and the King of Aragon. However, the Kingdom of Aragon is relatively small, so I would assume that this isn't going to last forever. However, he is busy right now, so we will maybe give it a month and see, let our troops rest a little bit. and see how far we can get with the troops available after that. And we do have a bit of a problem, which is the if we are to take on the French army, which is the amount of horsemen that he has available to himself, and we have no pikemen of our own. Now we've got heavy infantry, which is going to counter his pikemen. We have cavalry, which is going to counter his light cavalry and any archers that he might have. And we've got archers, which is going to counter his skirmishers. But he does have pikemen of his own, who are going to counter our cavalry completely. So that is, and our heavy cavalry is our trump card in this fight. However, I do not wish to give up the mangonels, because they are speeding up the sieges rather quickly. So I think we will just have to make do. But we'll wait. We'll give them a month, and we will give them some time to recover and replenish their numbers. The troops are rested. We have a good number of levies that we can bring along, and this shall probably be Duke Bernard the Strange's of Toulouse's last battle. We will see how that ends up, but we will declare war for the county of Quercy to bring that under my control, which will give me another 150 legitimacy, and we shall get the title of the county of Quercy and the bishopric of Figeac. And with that, we shall declare war on Francia once more. Now we will have to raise the armies, so let's move the rally point to the plains of La Salle, and we shall raise all armies under my command and then move out. Now the siege of Quercy Castle should not take too long, but we will see if the Emperor is bringing any troops over. Meanwhile, I do have a prisoner, Count Emeric. He's currently in house arrest, which I think we will move him to the dungeon, for his crimes, his various crimes of rebellion, Satanism, and whatever blood sacrifices he has committed, and his sins against the church. That's where he belongs. We could get my sons married, but right now we are at war. So the siege should be done relatively quickly, thanks to our siege engines, and then we will see if the Emperor is going to bring any troops to defend, or if he will be willing to cede the title to us once the siege is complete and things will be done. My spymaster Thierry has unfortunately taken to the bottle and is consciously looking for its bottom. So he is ailing from the drink, and I think the sights he has seen in Auvergne are most certainly concerning him and have brought him to the point that he has become a drunkard. All right, we control Quercy, so that should be the objective. Interestingly, it isn't. The objective should have been... All right, maybe this will take up. What else were we supposed to hold? We were fighting... it's the de jure war for the county of Quercy, which we are now holding the county of Quercy. There's nothing else for us to control here. So why does that not count as objective? I'm not entirely certain, but we shall stand and wait for a while and see if there's any reaction from the Emperor whatsoever before we will move and see if we can come to an agreement of some sort. Okay, it is starting to tick up, so it looks like this is something that we will simply have to either wait out and see if the emperor is willing to send troops to rectify to challenge us. We shall move back to Toulouse then for the time being, and we'll await further developments. So. No sign in the mountains from the French Imperial Army to rectify this situation, and it is simply, well, I'm not sure how long this is going to take until this actually ticks up, or how far this can tick up, because there's no cap on that, I think. So we could obviously besiege other lands, but that is not our purpose. We do not wish to become enemies. Okay, the First Army of Barcelona is moving in, so we shall immediately meet them in battle in the hills of Carcassonne, and they bring with them 300. Okay, they are actually attempting to flee. Let's see if we can catch them before they move out. Before they leave once again, and see if we can actually get them. No, they are fleeing towards Spain, so we shall return. We will not sacrifice our men needlessly in foreign hills. We shall return towards Toulouse and once again await any movement by the emperor. So they have escaped, unfortunately, or we might. I don't want to start besieging Carcassonne. There's no reason to become hostile towards the Count. So we will simply return to Toulouse and wait for things to come. Now, unfortunately, we might not be able to wait forever, because the emperor has won against Count Diego of Nájera in the Franco-Najaran vassalization war, which means he is only having only 3 more wars to fight. Actually, 2 more wars in Iberia. So we may actually move our troops. It's September, so before winter sets in. Let's move them to Saint-Lizier and see if we can, from there, get a better idea about where the Emperor's troops might be. And we can still probably move a little further up to Carcassonne and see if the Imperial troops are anywhere to be found. Now we are getting relatively far away from. We're getting far away from our lands, so we'll have to keep an eye on our supplies. Okay, there is the First Army of Armagnac. Okay, where we will, in that case, we will return and give battle to Armagnac if he so desires. Okay, these are actually 2 major armies, but I think we can potentially take them ideally in the plains. Maybe we can fight them one by one. We will see. But if we can accost them in the plains of Beaumont, then that would work. Oh, there's more troops coming. Okay, so the full French army is now moving in. In that case, we will return to Toulouse, and my bishop, who is an abject fool and struggles to read, has caused problems with preaching unorthodox doctrine. Well, there's not much I can do about this because the bishop is not under my command. So we shall await their approach in Toulouse, and we will see where they move in. Volkart has been teaching Antoine and increasing his stewardship, which is great. But it looks like the French army is now getting ready to give battle, and we will defend ourselves. In in front of our castle, which is where we shall stand against the imperial army. All right, we are defending, and the king, the emperor himself, leads the charge with his pikemen, which are countering our heavy cavalry. But the pikemen are in return being accosted by the friendly heavy infantry. That said, the rest of the army is about to arrive. So this, as eager as the emperor is to give battle, this is still going to be a hard fought war. Now, it looks like Count Jean Vivier has taken over, has brought his light footmen, but both them and the pikemen are being countered, and now the cavalry has arrived as well. So that is, interestingly enough, only 50 armored horsemen. So I would have expected more, but we will see how the battle develops. Now I'm leading my own soldiers. My spouse is chivalric. I shall never back down, and I'm an open terrain expert, and we're fighting on the plains. And my battle axe and my own home is where I am best. So while this is a hard battle, it looks like our troops are standing our ground. Milo has been injured by an enemy knight, but in the end we stand victorious, and the enemy is fleeing in a panic. We will see how many of them are being left behind on the field. But with that, we have taken a fair few losses. Almost 300 of our men remain on the field, but we have inflicted more on the enemy than we have taken. Our heavy cavalry and our knights have done the majority of the slaughter, followed by our professional soldiers, and the majority of the losses were in the enemy levies, because of course the cowardly emperor would send his raised levies at us to wear us down before he would risk his own soldiers. Radomir alone has slain 68 of the enemy, and Alderic, my son, has once again proven his skill in battle and done his duty in this battle. Now this gets us from the battle victory to a war score of 36. So can we give chase and see if we can inflict a further defeat on them? There's another hostile army here. I think they will make their way. I think they managed to get away before us, but we won't be able to catch him in time. So instead, we shall be moving north to meet the army of Routier, the archpriest. So if the defeated French army is no longer willing, we'll see where they. They have begun. They have begun the siege of the barony of Aurillac and of the fortress there. So we will relieve the four and defeat these bandits who are mostly bringing archers in the forest, which makes sense. But I think it's a mercenary army, so we'll see if we can catch up to them before they make their way out into the hills. Ideally, we'd fight them on open terrain, but I'm happy to take my chances here because their archers do not stand a chance, and it has been an absolute slaughter at Auvergne, and we have defeated Captain Louis of Routier of the Archpriest, and I think we have captured somebody. Yes, who is he? Just one of the knights. He is a brave and humble man, so we shall simply release him, and but he shall owe us for he shall owe us for that. So so he shall be released. And once again, we will return. We'll move to Rodez and see if any, which is relatively central, and we will see if any. We'll see if any further mercenaries show up in our lands, or if the emperor will be forced to concede our jurisdiction over it. There's another army moving in here, a relatively small force. So, the French army is returning as well. So, okay, we shall then, in that case, return once more to Toulouse and see if they seek to repeat their defeat, while the First Army of Bijor, that is a hostile army. Why are we not engaging in battle then? They are they're actually retreating, so they might have been defeated. The emperor has reinforced his troops and is moving towards Agen. We shall remain in Toulouse, and if he so seeks to give battle once more, it looks like they are about to meet at Quercy to try to counter the siege. So we will once more meet him in battle and inflict upon him yet another defeat. Okay, there we go. And we are met in battle. We are outnumbered almost 2-1. And this time it's Count Lou of Logudoro who is in the lead. And we will once more, our troops are reconstituted, so we have once more the advantage fighting at home, and we will see if we can press that. Emo has been wounded by Count Hildebert. Our knights are also he has some decent knights with him, but I've got the larger contingent here, and they are making quite the difference. Alderic has been wounded by Count Hildebert as well, and Emo has been maimed by Count Alain of Dijon. So my knights are fighting a vicious and bloody battle for our future subject here, but once again we have defeated the enemy commander and have drawn victory. So with that, we'll see. Radomir has slain 46 this time, and Alderic has been wounded in battle, and Emo has been wounded in battle as well. So Emo has lost a leg, so he is now one-legged. That is, and he is of poor health in his old age. How is Alderic? More importantly, I think he's recovering quickly, and he might have a scar to show from that battle. But this is, after all, for his future. So once again, the enemy troops are retreating, and we are regrouping. We are regrouping at Quercy and securing Quercy Castle. The first army of Bigorre is moving along the coast. So in that case, let us campaign east in Millau and see if we can intercept them and catch them. Therefore, moving into the forests of Albi then. All right. If that is your desire, this is where they probably choose to fight. It's not the best terrain for us, but they are outnumbered vastly. We'll see if they can evade us once again. No, we have managed to accost them, and this should be a very quick battle. We do not wish to besiege Albi, so we will return to Toulouse. We have no quarrel with them. We have defeated the enemy commander, and once again, my knights. Actually, Radomir is the only one who has managed to get a kill, but mostly there were skirmishers and a few levies, so not a force to be reckoned with in any way whatsoever. Still, we're only at 61%, and yet the emperor refuses to cede our demands. So we shall return to Toulouse, reconstitute our forces, and once again await what things are to come. An enemy army of the an enemy hostile army is moving in. The first army of the Breton exiles. This seems to be a mercenary. So let us move north and see if we can intercept them. They might be skilled in battle, but we outnumber them quite significantly. So we shall see if we can. Ideally, we'd call the first army of Armagnac might be coming in once again. So in that case, I would love to accost them on the open fields. So I'd prefer not to fight them in the hills or the forests. But let's see where everyone is going. They might be trying to meet up, but we will observe them for the time being. Okay, it looks like the Breton exiles are just passing through more or less. We are currently camped outside Rodez Castle, and it looks like they're moving to besiege Auvergne. If that, yes, they are besieging Auvergne. That is less than ideal. So we might try to, we will try to accost their reinforcements in the hills in Figeac, in the bishopric, while the bulk of their army is besieging Auvergne. Now this is his cavalry, so they should be disadvantaged here as well. If we can manage to intercept them before they reach their target. Unfortunately, we get knight effectiveness. Yes, well done, Richvara. But I think we might not be able to intercept them before they get there, unfortunately. All right, in that case, all right, it looks like, okay, so they're trying to besiege both. So we are taking on Carla first, under Count Loup again, and we'll see if we can defeat him before the reinforcements coming in. If we can defeat them in detail, that would be great. Farah the Brave, the Count Hildebert, Count Hildebert of Galura. This man is somebody we need to. He is an evil man that we need to. I would love to see slain in battle. Okay, now the reinforcements have arrived, but too late. Their main force had already been defeated. So once more, victory is ours, and the tactics win over the superior numbers. We are whittling that they are taking quite severe losses. However, most of them are levies, which I think the Emperor couldn't care less about. Farah this time has been maimed. So my Marshal, Farah the Brave, has been maimed. So that is an unfortunate occurrence. But we shall see. Count Hildebert himself has been wounded, but we shall see if for how much longer the Emperor wishes to find defeat on the field of battle. That said, things on my court are getting out of hand. Somebody is plotting to kill me. So I believe it is time to redouble the guards. This is going to reduce my guest's opinion, but we will see if we can find whatever villain is behind this. Okay, the small armies are still moving about, but we do not necessarily wish to give battle if we do not have to. So we shall retreat once again to Toulouse, replenish our numbers, and we will see what they do next. The Emperor is the one who is attempting to crack, so we are defensive and we have to use the terrain and our tactical skill to our advantage. The Pope is offering us a courtier, interestingly. A message from the Holy Father to the implacable Duke Bernard of Toulouse. I offer you the service of my court poet, Niccolo, a highly skilled man with extensive knowledge of tax levels. All right. He is I can see why the Pope is sending him. He's a rapacious atheist. But yeah, I can see his skill, and I am happy to accept him in my court. Now, who is planning to murder me? It could be Duke Guillaume the Accursed, or it could be Count Aymeric of Auvergne. I would challenge him to a fight, but I can't because he is a coward and hides away in his castles. And well, if he wants, he would be the type to do something sneakily. I can completely see how that goes. All right, I have a new perk in the wandering lifestyle. And I think after this we can probably change it again. Let's see, we've got, we could do travel logs. I mean, nothing really, nothing really else here. Alternatively, we could take, yeah, well prepared might be good on the Wayfarer. All right, I think this is enough. In my old age, I shall focus. I have done enough. I probably shall focus on stewardship once more, and just generally, yeah, that's where we started, and I have lived a long life of wandering and of battle. So I think, yeah, domain +3 stewardship. My land and my people under my care are my strength. So once again, we will focus on stewardship in our old age, and so I believe soon my wandering days might be over. How is yeah? Alderic is fine. His wounds have already healed, and he has excelled in battle. However, my knights, I believe, are starting to get on there in age. Now Radomir is already 48 as well. We've got Charles, who is almost 50. Farah is beginning to, yeah, has lost quite a bit in the last battle. Mudan is already in his 40s as well. I couldn't care about the mayor. Amalrich is getting on there in age. So Takulf von Nassau, the most unfortunate of my friends, is most certainly getting on in age there. So we might need a few younger knights here, and see if we can can I sort them by? I can't sort them, but yeah, Jourdain de Petra, Thierry, they're all getting on there. Now Raulf has joined as well, but his martial skill is not quite up there. And yeah, we've got Volkart, obviously, who is not necessarily a. I think I shall. He is not a man of the blade, so we will not have him as a knight. And with that, we're returning to Toulouse to once again see what the future shall bring. Yet another hostile force has been seen. The first army of Albret. We'll see where they move. I do not wish to give battle in the hills if I can avoid it. However, it is a relatively small force. And if they do not wish to give battle, because it's not the king's own troops, then I don't see why we should... yeah, we will leave them as is. And it looks like the emperor once again sends his troops north. So we shall once again move towards La Salle. It looks like he's rounded up a few more peasants. Volkart has taught Elodie and increased her stewardship, which is great. Yeah, we're moving north once more. Our numbers have been replenished, and it looks like the emperor has brought more peasants that he wishes to send to the slaughter. So we will be defending in Quercy. And with that, once again, we are facing Jean Vivier and the French army. And once again, we are fighting in advantageous terrain while their whole army isn't yet present. So even though their reinforcements are late, we are not just now fighting the second part of his army. Once again, the eagerness and recklessness of the French emperor has been his downfall, and I believe we have once again defeated the French with two great losses on their side. They have, their horsemen and bowmen have taken a fair few losses this time, and I think we have slain. Alderic has slain Count Alain of Dijon, a knight in the service of the king. And I think Count Hildebert, unfortunately, is still wounded. He's aggravatedly wounded. So hopefully the evil man will eventually succumb to his ail. But we did capture Count Vivier and Guy, a knight of Captain Henri. So let's see. Count Jean, he's in house arrest. I will ransom him. And Guy, the evil ravener, he is our prisoner. So we shall simply release him and send him on his way, as we have no desire to. Keep people in the dungeon, except for obviously Count Emeric, who is excommunicated and a Satan worshipper, and as such shall not be tolerated. Right, we have received the ransom, and I think with that we are close. I think we are close to the Emperor conceding defeat. If he wishes to repeat his series of losses, and he wishes to send more troops to the slaughter, and my men are armed and ready, and my knights stand by my side. And to my great surprise, Henry, King Richard's caravan master, King Richard of England, who is at this point a vassal to. I haven't even noticed that the emperor has taken the English. By God, the emperor has been busy. But as much as he sets his eye on foreign conquest, as much that the lands at his home are falling apart. So it turns out that King Richard's caravan master, we can't throw him in jail, but we will let the traitor be known, and the scheme is still going on. I am almost certain that the emperor is behind this, or my old foe, the evil duke. But for now, we shall see if the emperor will eventually concede. It looks like the plague cowpox has been growing in England and in the north of France once more. So this is concerning. It is a major plague, so we shall immediately, we actually still have a sense on control plagues. That's actually unnecessary, but okay, we'll do it. So, with that, I think we have, everything we could. We could hire a court brewmaster, but who would be a good? Well, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that when we get there. But for now, we have to keep an eye on that plague, because it is a major plague, and it seems to be spreading rapidly, and so do Eudesis pox. None of this bodes well for our army being out in the field. So we shall return to Toulouse, and and await, hopefully, the end of this bloody war against the French emperor. With Eudesis pox spreading along the coastline like wildfire, it is once again coming the time where we have to decide if we want to enter seclusion. Unfortunately, we cannot, since we are currently in the field. So probably the best we can do is move north and see that we can stay away from the. We'll probably move north. Let's move north towards Quercy, which is a little bit further away from the pox. But still, okay, the French are back, and I think it looks like it's coming down to one last battle. In that case, we'll see if we can fight the enemy on the plains of Argent, and see if we can inflict a final crushing defeat on the French, and end this war once and for good. All right, we are out in the open fields, and we are fighting the vanguard. Aldebrand von Schwerin has done well, and Alderic has been disfigured in battle by the looks of it. Once again, Count Hildebert, he has wounded Takulf. Hopefully this is the final end of this tragic campaign where we are standing against the enemy and defeating the French on their own fields once more. And with that, we have achieved victory. Many of my knights were wounded in this fierce battle, and Jourdain has been, my old friend has died, and it looks like the smallpox have started to appear on our court. So hopefully, with this final defeat, we can end this war and get the emperor to finally concede. Arlekin von Brabant has died from the smallpox, and the pox are ravaging our court by the looks of it. So there is... Oh dear, Ermesens is doing her best to control the plagues, but there is little that we can do. And the pox are on our doorstep, and it remains to be seen who remains standing at the end. Ogier has come of age. His energetic nature was thought to be a sign of an affinity for war and combat, but perhaps it was simply unruliness. He has only developed a basic understanding of the subject, but at least he has learned the essentials of managing an army. So he gets a tough soldier, but he appears to be ill as well. So I think with that, he's still, he should no longer be the hostage, I believe. Oh yeah, there he is. Ogier's birthday approached, it being the custom for hostages to be sent home once they are no longer children. Alas, it seems Duke Eudes' plan to keep Ogier at Angoulême was... plan is to keep him a little while longer. Okay, so he has not actually released him, but for now we have larger problems to deal with, because while we can finally enforce the demands, and the emperor has had to concede. We had to concede. We've gained the legitimacy. We have completed Toulouse, but alas, the two major plagues are ravaging the European lands. The smallpox have arrived on our shores. And we are immediately going to enter seclusion, and that is obviously going to reduce the chance of infection. So we will be secluded, and I can also isolate the capital, which we are going to do, which is going to cost me some legitimacy, but it is massively going to improve the plague resistance in the capital. So we are on lockdown, and we are going to see what the future will bring. Now, Ogier seems to be still very ill, but he is remaining at the court, which probably under the current circumstances is the best decision. However, Alderic has returned from battle disfigured, but we shall see what is behind the mask. It could be worse. He doesn't look too bad, but I think for now he decided that he feels the shame and would like to remain Alderic de Villeron, the masked, and stand aside as that. So we have completed Toulouse. We have unfortunately a major outbreak of plagues in our at the gates. The smallpox are going to ravage, I think, through our lands. Let's see who on our court is already infected. Thierry is a drunkard. We know that much. Bourguigne was I think infected, but she might no longer be. No, she has the smallpox. Farah has been maimed in battle, and I can probably filter that by not healthy. There we go. Richwara von Kleve has caught the pox. Emo has lost a leg, we know that much. Ebon has caught the pox, and Alessandra de Fer has caught the pox as well. So as much as we've tried, the pox have arrived, and nobody is safe, no matter what measures we are taking.